What is up, duelists? Arts and Crafts here with your daily dose of Yu-Gi-Oh! GOAT format action. Today's feature match, we've got Easy to Slay You versus Loker23. I think Easy to Slay You has been featured on this channel before. Definitely a spice master sometimes, so interested to see what they might be cooking up today. Let's hop right into it. It's like Loker won the RPS, is going to choose to go first. Going to lead out with a classic T-set pass, giving away very little information. Easy to Slay You. Looks like they're on some combo action. Going to lead out with a giant Shrunade to kind of clear out that back row. It's going to resolve. And then they're going to resolve a Graceful Charity. So nice little 1-2 there. Going to discard Level Limit Area B and a Wall of Revealing Light. Very interesting. So some sort of stall strategy coming out here from Easy to Slay You. Let's see what the offensive portion of the deck here is meant to do, though. Upstart Goblin to dig a little bit further. And then we're going to go normal summon Cyberstein. So we've got some sort of Stein list. Stein effect, pay 5,000. It's going to summon out a Last Warrior from another planet. So it looks like we've got Last Warrior Stall, some sort of like lock deck here, some prison deck. Kind of interesting. Not something you see every day, but going for the big boss monster here. If this card is special summoned, destroy all other monsters you control, so see you later, Cyberstein. Neither player can summon monsters. That means this set monster cannot be flipped face up as a flip summon. And it's going to be tough for any player to, add to their board here. We're going to go set a bunch of back row pass here, though. Not attacking into the set monster is potentially a wise choice, right? You don't want to trigger any flip effects, maybe. If it's like a Night Assailant or something, right? So Looker here, you've got this this floodgate effect from Last Warrior to deal with. Let's see how you respond. We're gonna get draw phase, Wall of Revealing Light. Now you're only on 3,000 life points here from Easy to Slay You, so you can only pay up to 2k here, right? But then monsters they control cannot attack if their attack is less than or equal to the amount you paid. So 2,000 is generally enough to deal with most of the stuff that Loker could potentially be working with here. Just gonna pay the full 2,000, so dropping all the way down to 1,000 life points. And then we've got last turn. Oh, okay, so we're playing Stein last turn. The Stein plus Wall of Revealing Light combo, enabling last turn. And if you're in the GOAT format discard, Easy to Slay You's been asking a million questions about how this card is ruled there because it is kind of tricky. So just to give you guys a bit of a rundown, you can only activate this when your life points are 1,000 or less, achieved thanks to Stein and Wall of Revealing Light. Select one monster and you start at the field. Send all other cards on the field and their respective owners' hands to their respective graveyards. And then your opponent selects and special summons one monster from their deck in face of attack position, and then they battle. So basically, you lose all of your cards. You have one monster on the field that's meant to deal with your opponent. And then the winner of that battle essentially wins the game because the player whose monster remains alone on the field at the end phase of this turn wins the duel. Any other case results in a draw. So Easy to Slay You is going to lose all of their cards on board. They're just going to concede there because the idea of the combo, right, is the Last Warrior from another planet allows you to, or prevents your opponent from summoning a monster. So they can't, so they're just unable to summon anything to deal with the Last Warrior. And then by default you win because it's, there's nothing to battle it. So nice little 1-2 punch there, summoning out the Last Warrior, triggering the last turn, and Loker's just going to go ahead and concede immediately with no out to that at all. So combo working out pretty well there for Easy to Slay You. Cooking here with the Stein plus last turn combo. Love to see it here on the ladder. Loker here is going to go first here in game 2. Don't even really know what they're playing. Didn't see any cards resolved from them. They're going to go, okay, they're going to set a couple back row and play Level Limit Area B, normal summon Gyakugirei Panda. So this is a Stein last turn deck versus Panda Burn. Not a very conventional matchup. No chaos to be found in either deck. Love to see it. Some diversity here on the Dueling Book GOAT format ranked ladder. Easy to Slay You. Gets to main phase 1. Now, interestingly, Burn is probably pretty good into these Stein decks because they can if you can get your opponent down to less than 5k life, then Stein is just dead, right? You just can't activate his effect. So probably a favorable matchup here for Loker, but obviously completely surprised there in game one with the combo that you would never expect in a million years unless you knew what Easy to Slay You had been cooking up. We're just going to get set 4 pass here. The Panda sticks around, just an 800. Normal summon Panda number 2. This is a 1600 damage a turn. Nothing to scoff at. We're just going to go attack in. And that puts Easy to Slay You down to 6400. So Stein's still live, but can't take another turn of both of them getting in for damage if they want to continue to have access to their Cyberstein. Just going to draw a pass for Easy to Slay You. And we're going to get in for 1600 again. Yep, and now Stein is officially off unless Easy to Slay You has some potential life point gain in the deck, which is possible. Easy to Slay You is going to go ahead and set a monster, get in the way of these pandas that will power up both of them to a whopping 1300 attack each. And you have to remember they do have piercing damage as well. Graceful Charity is going to come out here from Loker. Going to discard a Gravity Bind, pretty redundant with the level limit area B, and discard a Big Shield Gardener, which probably does not do a lot against Easy to Slay You's deck, so totally makes sense to understand that. Or totally makes sense to discard that, and kind of an interesting card to even keep in post side, but probably doesn't matter too much, and like it's not like you have a pre-planned sideboard plan against last turn combo. So I think you probably don't have too much to take out here is what I'm saying. Loker's going to go ahead, add a back row. We're going to normal summon Sangan. Setting stuff ahead of time, likely playing around potential like Morphing Jar. I wouldn't, Easy to Slay is clearly playing some weird stuff. So the jars are probably something you got to be aware of here. 1300 attack Panda is going to go ahead and attack the set monster. It is Jaugen the Spiritualist, which has exactly 1300 defense, so it's just going to wall out the entire field here from Loker. So pretty good card, just as a wall in this specific scenario. And also, neither player can special summon monsters, which is a very important clause for our good friend last turn. We'll see how Easy to Slay You uses this. Just gonna go ahead and pass there. Easy to Slay You is gonna go set a back row pass. Continue to let this Jaugen wall stuff out. Of course, if they went ahead and summoned another monster, it would power up both of the pandas and they could get over the Jaugen. So don't want to do that unless you have some other plan. Draw pass from Loken, and Easy to Slay You. You're playing a combo deck. You're probably pretty happy to just stall out here a little bit. But Burn likes to stall out too, right? They're the deck with the level limit area Bs. Let's see, we're going to get main phase 1 Just Desserts. Are we going to see a trio chained as well? Double Just Desserts, Secret Barrel, Secret Barrel. So that's a lot of damage. That's 1k from the Just Desserts, putting them down to 38. And then Secret Barrel for 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 2k each. So that would be game if Easy to Slay You doesn't have any responses. We're going to Solemn one of the Secret Barrels, one of the biggest damage dealing cards there, so it makes total sense. And then just going to eat everything else. You're going to Solemn the second Secret Barrel, otherwise you're dead. Yep, doing the math there. Solemn, interesting card against Burn. A lot of debate in the GOAT format Discord about this recently, specifically in regards to like Chaos decks against Burn, but the logic kind of stands both ways. It's like, it can, obviously Solemn costs you a ton of life to use, but sometimes it can save you, right? Because you'd rather pay half your life, aka not all of your life, to prevent a Burn card from killing you here, like these Secret Barrels. So in this case, working out for Easy to Slay You, but but they are going to just drop down to 700 life points, which is a very, very scary total against Burn. So if Loker has any sort of Burn follow-up here, a Ceasefire, a third copy of either of these Burn cards, hell, even like a Tremendous Fire or whatever, this would just be GG. Yeah, so both Solemns will get negated. The Just Desserts resolve, dealing 1,000 or dealing 500 each. And then the Jar resolves as well. Easy to Slay You is able to draw a card. Then we're going to go Pot of Greed, digging a little bit further. Kind of has to make a final stand here. Going to go ahead and set a monster, set a bunch of back row pass. I'm not really sure what the deck's game plan is here. if they can't activate Stein. But we'll see what the plan is here. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead. We're gonna last turn. So okay, do we just win here? If you are I gotta read this card again. So you're gonna select Jowgen, of course, because you want your opponent to be unable to special summon monsters. It'll wipe the board. So all other cards on the field, so that's both players, and in their respective owner's hand. So everyone loses all of their cards. And then they can't special summon a monster, and then you win, right? Unless Looker has like some sort of quick play card in hand. Well, that's a little bit rude, but there you go. Holy man! All right, hey, maybe this is a real deck. Maybe this is a real strategy. We've got last turn combo coming in here, beating Panda Burn 2-0, and it wasn't even really close, right? Game 1, it was just what, a turn 2 win. Game 3, easy to slay. You just stalled out with the Jowgen. Funnily enough, walling out all of Loker's cards. Got all the way down to 700 life, had the double Solemn to protect their life points, which is an interesting play against Burn, but it worked out. And then was able to stall enough to find the last will, helped out by Jar of Greed, Pot of Greed, and fired it off for the win with the Jowgen on the field. So there you go. 2-0, easy to slay you on a very, very interesting last turn deck. Takes down Panda Burn. Really interesting one. Pretty quick match, but, some interesting decks. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you all next time.